Welcome to your Strategic Dining Services online video training. In this video, our objective is to take your buffet to this. Here we have a simple happy hour buffet set up with a small centerpiece and very little garnish. Here's the same food, but with a couple of your melon carvings and a few garnish embellishments. In this video, we'll take you through the steps you need to produce a melon carving for your residents, sales and marketing events, or in-house culinary training. We'll begin with a review of the tools along with a few of the ingredients that you'll need to produce a melon like the one I have here. To complete this particular carving, you're going to need just a few items. A cook's knife or a chef's knife, a carving knife similar to the one I have here, some toothpicks, a fresh pineapple top, a honeydew, cutting board, and I like to keep a trash can close by. I want to take a minute to discuss one of the tools you're going to need to produce this carving, the carving knife. These carving knives have a very sharp edge and are designed with a thin blade to make tight turns. You can find these locally at Asian markets or online. On the screen, we have a couple of websites where you can order these. I found this one locally for under $10. When selecting a honeydew, try to choose one that is very firm and free of blemishes or soft spots. This one's perfect. To begin, we're going to use the cook's knife or chef's knife to carve off a palm-sized piece off the bottom to keep your melon stable. We're going to cut a circle about the size of a golf ball in the top of the melon, pointing your knife out. Next, we're going to make a groove to outline this first cut, like that. We're going to make these 5 petals. To do those 5 petals, we're going to lay the knife down and start to cut in a wavy pattern, a V. We're going to repeat that process 4 more times. To make the next cut, we're going to trace along where the flesh meets the skin. And we're going to keep the knife straight up and down. And we're going to repeat that along each of the petals. Next, we're going to remove the flesh underneath the petal. Our next cut, we're going to trace along the skin and the flesh once again in a wavy pattern. Our next cut, we're going to repeat like we did on the first petals, making a larger petal that starts between the 2 petal ends. Like so. Again, you want to lay your knife down during this cut, making a wavy V pattern. And you want to repeat that process 4 more times. Like before, we're going to make a cut in between the flesh and the skin, tracing along in a wavy pattern. Again, your knife should be a little more straight into the center of the melon, or pointing towards the center of the melon. And again, we're going to remove some of the flesh behind the petal. like that. Now, you can continue down, depending on the size of your petals and the size of the melon, you can continue down as far as you'd like. We're going to carve the bud of the flower in the center of the melon. To begin, we're going to start by making an incision along the outside with the knife straight in. Don't go too deep here. Then we're going to remove a little bit of the flesh behind that first cut, like that. In making this cuts, you want to make sure that this continues to be round. You notice it's starting to get a little oval, so you want to round it off so it's in more of a circle. So we'll remove a little bit of that, like so. Our next cut is the same cut, just inside of the first cut. And again, we want to remove some of the flesh behind that cut. Again, we want to make sure that we're in a circle pattern. Our next cut is the same, and we're going to repeat this process all the way to the center. And there we have it. To add the pineapple leaves, we're just going to pull a couple of leaves off the top of the pineapple. And we're going to cut them into a V. Like that. Then you can make a small incision somewhere on your melon and add it to it. And you can continue around until you have a melon that looks like this. And that concludes our video training on how to carve a honeydew. Please check out our other online video training to include buffet enhancements, how to arrange your buffet, and how to produce a buffet at the last minute with wow factor. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. I'm Jeff Kelly.